The Fourth Amendment. By Amber Shaler. The start of the Fourth Amendment. Passed by Congress on September 25, 1789. Ratified on December 15, 1791. This is word for word the Fourth Amendment in the Constitution. This is also what was added to the Bill of Rights. So please take the time out of your day to read it. Now the next slide will explain it in simple terms, for those of you not grasping the concept yet. That is okay. That's why this video was made, to inform you on the Fourth Amendment. What the Fourth Amendment means to us. The Fourth Amendment protects people from the government. It makes it so one's property can't be taken away from them without a good reason. If any law official wants to confiscate property, for example a police officer, he/she must obtain a search warrant from a judge, or must have a good reason to do so or evidence that a warrant is needed. This good reason is known as probable cause. When the police officer asks for this warrant, they must fully believe that the information they have is true to their knowledge. The Fourth Amendment was added to the Bill of Rights. During the 1750s, laws were written to help the English earn money. These laws were not right and later changed. When the English got away with what they were doing, that caused a problem in Massachusetts and Virginia. Justices of peace and tax collectors were writing general warrants to search citizens. The warrants were not valid. They were written to try to catch people with illegal substances. No evidence was needed to get one of these warrants. So this caused chaos. People and all their property was being seized without any reason, and they weren't being told why. Because of these events, the Fourth Amendment was added to the Bill of Rights later. Vocab. T.L.O to understand the Fourth Amendment. Unreasonable search and seizure. A search and or seizure by an officer working for the government without a search warrant from a judge and without any probable cause to believe that a crime took place. Fruit of the poisonous tree. Any evidence obtained from an unreasonable search and seizure. So an illegal searcher's evidence may not be introduced into the court of law. Vocab. T.L.O to understand the Fourth Amendment. Exclusionary rule. The rights of courts to exclude incriminating evidence from an introduction at a trial. This way the trial is not swayed one way. Habeas corpus. A court order asking for an explanation on why a prisoner is being held. This way people are not being held without a good reason. Also this makes it harder for someone to be arrested without a good reason. Vocab. T.L.O to understand the Fourth Amendment. Probable cause. When police have reason to believe a crime is happening. If this happens, they may take evidence without a warrant. This is legal as long as police can explain their reasoning on why they did what they did. Reasonable suspicion. A standard to search someone at a place like a school. If there is enough evidence, then the search can be performed without a warrant. Facts about the Fourth Amendment. The amendment applies to the government, or government officials. An organization that is not doing it for the government, this right doesn't apply to. So a random person cannot just search someone for drugs, because they had enough evidence to. This is because they are technically not qualified to do so legally. With probable cause, a government official can search without a reason. Court cases involving the Fourth Amendment. Safford Unified School District vs. Reading, 2009. Hean vs. North Carolina, 2014. California vs. Greenwood, 1988. Weeks vs. United States, 1914. New Jersey vs. T.L.O, 1985. Mueller vs. Mena, 2004. Wolf vs. Colorado, 1949. Weeks vs. United States, 1914. Violation of the Fourth Amendment. Used a hidden key to open Mr. Fremont's house. The police then took a list of items, without permission. The items were used in a court of law against Mr. Fremont. This was a violation of Mr. Fremont's Fourth Amendment. Weeks vs. United States, 1914, continued. This was a violation of Mr. Fremont's rights because the police did not have probable cause. Therefore their search was not legal. Any evidence found is also not allowed to be used in a court of law because it was found illegally. In the end, this court case of Weeks versus United States made the exclusionary rule. Here is a picture to go with the Weeks versus United States case. Even if this was a doormat at someone's house, you don't have the right to search their house. Someone's house could be unlocked, and you still don't have a right to search it. This is because it is their property. Therefore, you need their permission or a search warrant to search it legally. New Jersey versus T.L.O, 1985. This court case involves a high school girl at 14 years old. Her initials were T.L.O, and she was searched legally. When one enters a school, they still have their rights, but some are altered. This is because it is the school official's job to keep all of the students safe. T.L.O thought that her rights were violated. This is because of her location. She was on school grounds. If this happened off of school property, then it would be a different story. The school officials had enough evidence to suspect T.L.O of having/selling illegal substances. In the court ruling, the court ruled in favor of the school, saying they did the right thing. It is the school's job to protect those that it can. Safford Unified School District versus Reading, 2009. This court case involves 3 kids. The first kid was male. He informed the office about a girl named Marisa. The office then talked to Marisa. They found drugs in a planner she was carrying and weapons in her pocket. Marisa then told them it was Savannah's planner. The office later searched her third child, Savannah. When they did so, they included a strip search of her. This wasn't okay. This search crossed the line of what is considered appropriate with the evidence they had. Why was it a violation? There wasn't enough evidence for there to be a search of Savannah and her clothes. The search was very personal and uncalled for. Savannah sued the school and the court ruled that the search was indeed unnecessary and unreasonable. Here are my fabulous sources. I would like to thank the creators of these websites, because they are part of the reason why this presentation was so informational. I would also like to thank Mr. T.L.O for teaching me all about government this year. Thank you, thank you. Wait. I didn't get a reward for this awesome project. What about some extra credit for my creativity?